Hello and welcome to Season 9 of Mutiny Motorsport F3 Brazil. We're so excited to bring this season to you, and to start off, we had to decide where we're going today. So we span our little tour here and we found out we're going to Sebring Club. What an amazing track here. First track outside of Brazil. We got 4 tracks of Brazil. We're in the USA for 2.73 kilometers of 13 corners of bumps and absolute chaos. It was pouring down with rain in practice today. None of the drivers enjoyed it at all. And then that brought us to qualifying.
Practice was pretty useless, so I'd say the drivers getting their feet wet in practice didn't do a whole lot for qualifying. They had to go out and find where the grip was, relearn all their braking markers. It was kind of an interesting challenge.
It was. Droopy took pole with a 1 minute and 0.885, just ahead of TTAR. Shattered Compass was in 3rd, Jeff in 4th, Renzo 5th, John in 6th, Dave in 7th, Dan Gilligan was 8th, Viltec 9th, Orange 10th, Nate Delta 11th, Max in 12th. In 13th place we had Debug, then Broadchin, Stupidoobie. We had Old Boy, who scored ABC 123, Garrett O'Brien, and then taking Peter's spot this race was B Specialist. And as you know,
we're gonna reverse all that because this is the sprint.
So the guy who qualified in pole, right at the back of the field, and you can see them trying to warm up their tires. It is very damp here for sprint. It started off completely wet, and we see Shattered Compass there in the back. In the formation lap, already missing his brake marker and having to try and catch up to the pack.
Not doing himself any favors, but the race is on when we go back to the front.
And here we go. Specialist is leading, but he's already off as everyone tries to find where the grip is. That formation lap was not enough, and Broadchin from like 4th or 5th on the grid straight up into 1st, taking advantage there.
Really profiting.
Yeah, didn't have the qualifying that he was after, saying this isn't his track that he wants at all. And he's glad it's going to be over with on day 1. As we're riding on board with Garrett here. Coming down, you can see the bumps. You can see how tricky it is.
I absolutely hate these cars in the rain.
An old boy.
He's not having fun.
He's not having fun. Most of the drivers here starting on wet tires to try and help them have some level of grip as we see someone backwards.
I forgot to change my fuel.
Oh no, disaster for Dan. His team did not set the right amount of fuel. He's going to have to go refuel already. He's qualifying fuel in.
On the shorter race, that's going to be game over.
How demoralizing for the team there. As we're on board with Dave, newcomer here, rookie for this season. John. So John and Dan for the Marlborough team. Trying their best.
Following Etienne Droopy, who has already gotten his way up from starting 17th, I believe, now 9th. So this is making quick work of the field.
Quick work, but he is off.
Yeah, spoke too soon.
He spoke too soon, as that looks like that was Shattered Compass just behind him there challenging. So here we go. Garrett on board, holding up the pack. It looks like he's a bit of a cork in the bottle right now. 4 seconds behind the leaders.
1 and 2 starting to run away.
Yeah. Look at the pack behind them as they decided to make a move. I think that's Orange down the inside.
Yeah, it's 3 wide into the hairpin turn.
3 wide, what a great move from Orange as Garrett gets bounced around.
Someone was going wide left there when we cut away.
Look at this, Old Boy really challenging Broadchin there for the first place. As Garrett seems to be losing pace and losing temperature in those tires and just falling back again. Oh, and that's his teammate going through around the outsides. I think Viltec's going to take him.
That is a tricky corner. It's so easy to go in a little hot and just get sucked right off.
Look at these guys. Look at Max absolutely taking command there of that situation and trying to get the best of it, moving himself up into 5th place. So sprint points, don't forget, only the top 7 get points here, because it's a shorter race and they start in reverse. So it's giving a chance for these guys who are usually fighting maybe in the midfield to get a real taste of chance of defending against some of the guys who don't usually start behind them. As we see, I think that's Maxi going off, and Andrew P already going through, and there was a crash in the background. I couldn't see who that was. I think that was Dave. I can see him tumbling down the order. Oh, not the start he would have wanted.
Speaking of not the start he would have wanted, Daniel Gilligan is out of the pits with more fuel now, but trailing behind.
Yeah, that is a long way back. As his teammate here in 7th place holds on to the final points. As I say that, he's under attack. As we see someone in the background going off. Who was that? Oh, I think that was Garrett.
A cannon. Yeah,
it was a cannon of Garrett. Oh, not his day. Not his day at all. Still not enough grip out there. Let's take a look at the top 7. We've got Broadchurn with Old Boy ABC. Orange in 3rd place, taking the sprint podium so far. As we're on board with Jeff. He's right behind TTAR.
Dry as a bone.
Oh, Old Boy thinks it's dry out there, though. It doesn't look that dry. Well, maybe here in Sector 3.
It's deceiving. There's no rain coming down, but it definitely looks wet on track.
Yeah, certainly in certain parts. Here we got Debug right behind Droopy. And then Droopy right behind Orange, who's trying his best to hold him off. As we didn't see it, but Jeff gets past TTAR there, up the insides and around the inside as well. These two have made up good places. All the back markers seem to have made up good places here. And they're starting to march their way through the field. It's about halfway, though.
You know, for a track with only a couple of hard braking zones, it's kind of proved good for overtaking. Just being the tricky nature that it is, and varying conditions has led to some good racing so far.
Yeah, as we see Orange, he's lost his position to Droopy as they come round Gurney Bend into the hairpin turn. Had to concede to that one, but he's holding on to 4th now. And he's got Debug and Shattered Compass right up his backside. Let's see if he can hold them off now.
Make any mistake and you can lose a couple positions at least.
God, you can see how bouncy it is as they choose their braking zone. It looks like if it is drying up every lap, that's going to mean their braking markers might be changing every corner, lap by lap, as they're trying to discover where the grip is. As we see, is that Dan Gilligan going slowly, or has he just been dropped off the back of the pack?
I think that was Dan Gilligan.
So in the pits, we have Maxi, I think, and B Specialist in the pits. It looks like Viltec has retired early as we're on board with Debug still. He's just been overtaken by Shattered Compass. As Shattered fights Orange, as we're on board with Jeff, who seems to be making his way through the field now. Is he on slicks? I think Jeff is on slicks. I don't think he's taken the wet tires for the start of this race.
I heard there were a couple drivers that started on slicks. I don't know how they managed at the beginning, but that's a strategy masterclass if they do.
Oh, his Shattered Compass can't find a way past the Rothmans there. That mild 7 livery looking so good. Now he's weaving right, he's weaving left. He can't make it stick.
Really filling up those mirrors. Look at that.
Yeah, side by side as they go rounds. Can he make it stick? No, it looks like Orange just stays in front. As we're on board with Nate here. Nate just behind Dave, just behind John. This midfield battle is really starting to kick off now. Oh no, who was that? Is that Shattered?
That's Shattered.
Oh.
It's gone wide of the tricky rabbit bend.
Oh. All that hard overheating tires. Oh, Shattered TTR there is complaining as wets are going.
Confirming that it's getting drier and drier. If you can't keep the wets in check, then it's absolutely the case.
orange, maybe with a tiny bit of reprieve now. That Shattered's just off his case, still holding up 4th place. We're on board now. We're on board in Net Delta as he's behind John. So John's lost a couple of positions, not managed to hold on to that point he had. Some of the drivers who qualified a little bit higher start to find their speed. Went past him. Oh, do we see another car off to the side there? Who was that? I think that was B Specialist. Maybe being lapped there. Certainly looks like it. As John loses that place to Nate out of the exit there. Great exit. Now he's got the pack in front. It's TTR, Shattered Compass, and Debug right in front of him. It's out wide. Cuts in. Oh, he's touched TTR. Oh, no.
Oh. Hard into the barriers and loses the rear wing.
Rear wing. It looks like TTR there was bounce between Shattered and Nate came off worse. Oh, that's so disappointing. He was having a great little battle there, moving up the field as TTR and Shattered start to fight there for points. TTR has to take to the dirt there.
Oh, this is getting scrappy. We're well past the halfway mark, so you gotta make that move stick. You got not much time left at all.
No, not much time. And snuck in. Oh, who's this going off?
Old boy Bob.
Boy.
ABC.
So bone dry for him, but still managed to find a wet spot. And it's Andrew B up into second with Jeff in third. How did they get through the pack that quickly? The battle in the midfield has been so incredible.
Proves that even with a reverse grid, the fast drivers will kind of rise to the top.
Yeah, but we're still seeing Broadchin. He didn't like this track. He's still holding on to everything he's got at the front there. The gap is coming down to 2 seconds.
Yeah, it looks like
we're on board with Dave. Oh, it's getting squeezed. Who's that coming through in the Mercedes Petronas there? I think that might be Maxi unlapping himself.
It is a lapped car. He's blue.
Yeah. Dave, after that little spin earlier, of that little mishap earlier, is making his way back through the fields. So back on board with TTR, right on the gearbox of Shattered Compass here. Less than about half a second between them. And these F3 cars, that is not very much at all. I wonder if they're both fighting with the tyres starting to overheat a little bit. And that looks like Maxi's trying to unlap himself in the background there. He's right on their gearbox. Those dry tyres are working so well.
I wonder if that's going to cause some issues for TTR as he's fighting his way up to the top here.
Here we go. He takes the left. He's on the racing line as they head down to the hairpin. Maxi's in his slipstream. Looks like TTR's just got him past as they go into the braking zone. No!
Oh, sorry.
Oh. Maxi apologizes, but TTR has lost his rear wing.
That's a big one. Oh,
it is a huge shunt.
Not enough time to recover either.
No, he's going to go through the pits. Shattered Compass now has a bit of reprieve in that 7th place. He's picking up 1 point so far. If he can hold on. So Maxi's still behind him, trying to unlap himself. We got Dave just behind him as we go on board with Broadchin, who's lost the lead, and it's Andrew in front. He seems to have gone off. That's Jeff.
His teammates off. Yeah.
Oh, the John Player cars. I mean, 2 and 3 isn't a bad result from where they started, but that is not what Droopy and Broadchin would have wanted from the position that they just held a few moments ago. As look at Jeff just saunter off into the lead there. Already got a huge
That must be the
advantage.
dry tires.
Dave C on Shattered. He's holding back there, trying to find some traction.
Shattered really driving in his mirrors these past couple laps.
He has been. He's holding on.
Road stuff.
Yes.
Just putting it in the middle of the track. Good defensive shape.
Great defensive driving there. Yeah, he's not giving Dave the time of day or the space. Look at that as we're on board now. That's Stoopy Doobie. Garrett just in front. Garrett just a few places off the points. Oh, look how bumpy it is. The car's struggling to stick to the road. He's holding on there. He's right in his gearbox. Less than a second between the pair. So coming around, tower turn, down Flying Fortress, straight into Rabbit Bend. Oh!
Oh, it looked like he was going right for the barriers too.
I wonder if he lost his front wing there or managed to save it before he hit the tires.
I think you can usually get away with a little tap.
Oh, so we haven't got very long left here at all. This must be the final moments of the race. Counting down now. So you see Dave. Oh. So who's in front has gone out of the way? Shattered's now up into 6th position. Is that Old Boy?
I think so. I see Old Boy. Oh, that looks like...
Shattered off. Oh, down to 8th. Oh. Heartbreak, all that defending. Finally, his tires starting to maybe overheat, starting to feel the pressure a little bit as we watch Jeff is coming through. I think that's TTR letting him through there to be to finish his race early. Disappointing.
That was scary in the first few laps, but
oh, Jeff, I bet it was scary on those dry tires. It paid off. Yes, it did.
Absolutely worth it in the end.
What a masterclass in strategy there as we're watching Orange.
Holy moly, that was fun.
Orange having good fun there defending. Was up in the podium positions, just lost one spot. But you got to say, the way those guys from behind came through the pack at that speed. How incredible was that race? What a sprint start.
Yeah, I'm gonna look to try and redeem myself in that.
Maybe put the right amount of fuel in to start the feature race there.
What a spectacle to watch, though. No shortage of action.
No shortage of action. Definitely no shortage for the stewards to get involved with. We're hearing reports of Maxi being involved with a few reports, so we're going to have to go and check out where the results finally lie. Jeff Hooton taking top honours and fastest lap there with Droopy and Broadchin on the podium alongside Orange, Debug, Dave and Old Boy taking the remaining point scoring positions. What a fantastic race we had for you today. The news really at the back was Maxi taking those penalties and dropping back to 14th place. Thank you so much and join us later on for the feature race.